Hi everyone, welcome back to the OmogeMuRa YouTube channel and welcome to today's video. In today's video, I am going to be doing a makeup tutorial. That is it. Really simple, really easy, straight to the point. Today's makeup tutorial was inspired by the Naked One palette. If you do not know, Urban Decay, the people that created, the brains behind the Naked series and the brains behind the revolutionary Naked One palette, are laying the palette to rest. I have so many memories with this Naked One palette. This was the first eyeshadow palette that I bought. If you remember the video I did where I talked about how I started beauty blogging, was how I spent an obscene amount of money on makeup all in one day. This was the palette that I actually bought that day, and I have had this palette for so long. And I'm just sad that there's gonna be a generation of people not going to be able to use this palette. I mean, now there's so many palettes that look like this, but when this palette came out, it was revolutionary. So I decided to give it a proper farewell by using this palette in a makeup tutorial just one last time before I lay it to rest. Before I continue, before we go on, before this video starts, please do me a favor and subscribe to the OmogeMuRa YouTube channel. Please join my family here on the internet and help me grow. Let's grow together. Let's be grow babies. That actually makes no sense. And also, once you click on the subscribe button, you can just shift a little bit and click on the notification bell so you will always get notifications of whenever I upload a new video. Without wasting much of your time, let's get started in today's video. So let's get started. I'm putting some concealer on my eyelids to act as a primer, and the first shadow I'm going to go in with from the Naked palette is called Buck on this Evita Joseph brush. Most of the brushes I'm using are Evita Joseph, by the way. I don't remember the name, but most of them are Evita Joseph because I really love the brushes. And I'm using this as a big brush to, put down a transition. Then I'm using this crease brush and entering with this Makeup Revolution shade from that palette that I love so much. Everything is linked in the description box below. And I'm going into the crease and just adding a bit of warmth to it. Then I'm taking another fluffy brush. This is from Sedona Lace, and I'm using it to blend where everything meets so that everything looks nice and neat and not messy or muddy or unblended. Haha. Then I'm taking a little bit of concealer and I'm patting it on my lid to act as a base for the eyeshadow. If you have an eyeshadow base, this works well, but I decided to use concealer because I really wanted something sticky. So I'm going in with the shade called Half Baked from the Naked One palette. It's a beautiful gold shade. Like, it just shines on the lid. I love how it looks so much. And I'm using my finger to apply this. Then I'm going back in with that orange and the crease shade to blend the crease together so it looks nice and neat and not choppy and messy. Then I'm going back in with the first brush to blend the edges, because you always have to blend your edges, always. Next, I'm taking the shade Dark Horse, and I'm going to put this shade in between where the gold stops and where the, the edge, like kind of at the edge where the gold stops. And I want it to fade into the next shade, which is going to be black. I'm using black now on the edge, and I'm using it to kind of intensify that outer V. And I'm also trying to kind of like form like a cat eye shape. Like, I'm kind of lifting the eye. If you see the way I'm blending it like upwards. I'm trying to lift up my edges to kind of like lift up the edge of my eye using shadow to kind of make it look like my eyes look really lifted. So that is what I'm trying to do right now. I don't know if I succeeded, but I really like how the look came out, so I guess I succeeded. Then I'm going in with the Maybelline Colossal Kajal in Smoky Eyes. It's a really nice creamy black pencil. So I'm using this to line my top lash line. I'm not doing like a precise line because I'm gonna smudge it out. This pencil has like a little sponge / smudger at the edge. So I'm gonna be using this to kind of like form a really smoky, a smoky grungy liner. Nothing really fancy. Then I'm taking the Colossal Volume Express Mascara in the shade Smoky Eyes, and I am loading them up on my lashes. Then I'm going back into the face, and I'm going to be using a primer, and I'm using that primer right now on my face. Then I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder in the shade Dark to set my primer because I have oily skin, and if I don't do this, I'm going to look like a mess. Today's foundation is the MAC Studio Fix Fluid. They literally just expanded this range. I am the shade NW48, no, NC40, NW48, sorry, not NC. I always get confused. But I love the fact that MAC has a lot of shades. Like, this is one of my favorite foundations. It just makes my skin look so good. Like, it's like one of the best foundations ever, to be very, very honest. Next, I'm going in with the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in the shade 45. I'm not sure. I'm going to put it in the description box below. And I'm applying it to everywhere I apply concealer. So that's my chin, bridge of my nose, my forehead, and under my eyes. We do this to bring light back because when you put foundation, you kind of look two-dimensional. So you put the concealer to kind of bring back the light to all the areas that you want to look, you know, highlighted and prominent. So you do this to bring light back to the center of your face. And I'm blending out the concealer using my damp beauty sponge. Now I'm using this small Real Techniques eye sponge to blend out the bridge of my nose and to blend out under my eye because it's much smaller and it gives you a much better blend. The smaller your sponge is, the better it is for precise blending. So I always use the small sponge right under my eyes or for the bridge of my nose. Well, not always. I just found the sponge again, but like I really like using it for that. Now I'm taking my bigger beauty sponge and I'm just blending out the edges because you need to blend your edges, honestly. Now to set that, I'm going to be going in with the Black Opal True Color Ultra Matte Foundation Powder. I have really dry under eyes and I found that setting it with a pressed powder does a much better job for my under eyes than setting it with like a loose powder. So if you have very dry under eyes, try using a pressed powder to set your under eyes and let me know what you think. It's been working so far for me, so I hope this helps somebody out there like me with the driest under eyes. And I'm going back in with my beauty sponge to blend everything together. This skin is just looking flawless, yo. Flawless. Then I'm going to contour with the Maybelline Clear Smooth Finishing Powder in the shade Mocha. I'm using this angled brush to just give me a little bit of contour under my cheekbones and my forehead. Then I'm going back in with the Maybelline Colossal Kajal Pencil. And then I'm lining my waterline. Then I'm taking this brown shade from the Makeup Revolution palette and I am blending out the black. Then I'm gonna blend out the brown with a bit of the orange. So it's not like a really one color look. It's just adding some shadows to make it like more dimensional and to give you more depth. Because I smudged out all of the black, I have to add a little bit back so that I can, you know, get that intense lined eye look. Then it's time for highlights and I'm using the Candid Glow highlight from Yanga Beauty in the shade Porkish. This highlighter does not respect you or your edges. It just comes for you and just comes for you. So this is a trick that I've learned. I have learned that applying the highlights with a small brush at first, like what I'm doing here, like I'm applying it, like I'm concentrating it with a smaller brush on my cheekbones, my forehead, on my cheekbones, my bridge of my nose, my chin, and then I'm taking a bigger brush. This is the Evita just a classic highlight brush, and I'm using that to blend out the highlights. I find my highlight looks so much better. It doesn't look like I just piled it on. It just looks nicer when I apply it this way. I also had to apply under my brows as well. Then I'm taking whatever is left on that big sponge and I'm using it to highlight my forehead so it doesn't look like I'm gleaming. Then I'm blending everything together with my damp beauty sponge. I am finishing up the eye look by applying some mascara to the bottom lash line. I'm using the same mascara as before. Then I'm finishing up this whole entire look using the Zaron translucent powder. I haven't used this in a very long time, but I started to use it and I'm confused why I stopped. Blending everything together with a damp beauty sponge. Guys, having a damp beauty sponge around when you're doing your makeup is the best. Always have a damp beauty sponge on hand to help with blending, always. For the lips, I'm going to start off with the Zaron lip liner in the shade Red Vines. It is one of my favorite lip liners. Zaron makes some of the best lip liners ever. Next, I'm going in with the lipstick from House of Tara, literally called Funke. I really like the name of this lipstick, and I love the formula too. The formula is so creamy and so rich. But the final product I'm using for my lips is the Maybelline Vivid Hot Lacquer in the shade Classic. Guys, this liquid lipstick that doesn't dry down, so it gives you like a glossy finish, is so fun. It's so pretty. I think it's really the star of the look. I love how it just makes this look complete. It just completes everything, to be very honest. And that is it for today's look. I really hope you enjoyed this makeup tutorial. All the products that I used on my face are linked in the description box below, so if you are interested in buying any of the products that I use, please click on the links in the description box below. Do let me know what you think of this look and this tutorial by leaving me a comment below. Before the end of this video, I just want to remind you that you should subscribe to my channel, click on the notification bell, give this video a thumbs up because it helps my channel, and do not forget to be awesome. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!
I said, listen boy, I'm focused. I said, me I drink pine and ginger. Me I drink pine and ginger. Cause I am the one, I rule my world. Nobody rule my destiny. Cause you are the one, you rule your world. Nobody rule your destiny. Leave me alone, let me live my life. Leave me alone, let me live it up, live it up. Push your line on your step. Whatever comes, comes, comes. Hey! I love this song. I love this song, but this is not the original version. Wait until I get my Apple Music back and I'll play the original version of this song. I love this song. This is Childish Gambino's Summertime Magic. It's such a wonderful summer song. It's just perfect. But this is a remix I found on SoundCloud. Do love me, do love me, do. I can't shaku shaku for my life, but I love this song. I can only do the hand movement. Bless me with body, oh baby. I was blessed with somebody. Sucker. I came together with a trouble me, oh. She just dey bust my brain. She dey say she want my sugar cane. She dey just my day. I really see your song. And you turn me on. The birthday craze for your body. The original version of this Maroon 5 song is one of my favorite songs ever. So every time I like a song, I always look for remixes, and this is one remix I really like. Hey! I really like the remix of the song, so I just had to include it on this playlist. Gotta rock your body, rock your body, rock your body. So I'm absolutely in love with Bodge. If you know Bodge, I can get me some. If you can figure it out, I'd love to meet him. This song, Magic, is a jam. Everything's so magical. Otojo menta tati rirawa.